Hey, my beautiful peeps, Locking Down the Truth with Marci Lock. I just finished my workout, came out of the gym, and I was talking y'all, and I'm like, I don't know why I said y'all, but I was talking and I'm like telling you all this awesome deep stuff that was coming through me from the gym, and then I realized somehow I stopped the record button. So apparently I get to tell you more. There's something else there that I get to say to you. And when I was working out in the gym, I happen to overhear people in the gym or notice people in the gym just in struggle, in fighting their body. So even down to how you're working out when you're exercising, and all your thoughts and associations towards exercise. Again, like it's almost like you're fighting. And even if someone has an intention to, so there's this level of consciousness about intention, which is like, okay, I have an intention. But when you're operating out of stored memory patterns, intention can still be a fight. So what I mean by is this: even if you're working out and you find yourself being like, like making it hard, and like when I stop, I'm like, woo, I got this. Okay, I got this, bitch. And it's like mini Marci mini break, and I like it's all focused, like excitement, energy, creation. So when we're even having a hard face when we're working out, we're like, you're literally telling your body, this is hard, slow down my metabolism, this is a struggle for me, I have to fight my body, and everything is working against you. But the point I want to make is that's based off old memory patterns. Okay, so everything that you're doing and you're creating and you're experiencing in your life is based off memory patterns. So let me give you an analogy that will kind of make some sense with this. Is, let's say for instance, what happens when you delete something from your computer? Well, when you delete something from your computer, what happens is it goes into the recycle bin, right? So it goes into the recycle bin. It's not that you see it, but it's still there. It's still on your computer. That's kind of how we're designed to operate. I'm literally, my arms like shaky because I rocked out my upper body. So what happens is, it's just like the way that we operate, in that we're operating based on memory patterns. So I always say, people, we're operating subconsciously. You're not actually acting consciously right now. You're operating subconsciously. You're operating off your memory patterns, because instead of, so there's two ways. Let me sum this up a little bit more. There's two ways that you're operating. You're either operating out of inspiration, which is moving forward into creation and like stuff coming through you to move forward and create, or you're operating out of memory. And so it's either memory or it's inspiration. So what I mean by this is, when you choose to overeat, you're not doing it based out of inspiration and creation and moving forward. You're doing it based on old memory patterns, old associations to connection, fun, joy, love, sadness, depression, etc. And we all know, we can look at food in and of itself and see how it's associated to every emotion in our society and in our conditioning. And so if we don't, a lot of people might be like, well, I don't want to get rid of my memories. Okay, well, it's not about getting rid of your memories. It's about clearing and cleaning it. So seeing the parts of it that actually serve you, or shifting it into the parts that you want to create and be associated to, and the parts that don't serve you, you get to let go of. Just like letting go of in perfectionist identity, which is what I operated out. I still produce like a motherfucker. I still operate out of a massive capacity and power. There is actually no limit to my capacity, and it just flows through me. So there's no parameters of time. There's no struggle. There's no hard. There's no effort. It's just energy that I get to let come through me in full force to create awesomeness. And it happens instantaneously and in huge degrees, because it's all based out of inspiration and moving. And so I can produce like a motherfucker, and yet I let go of all the perfectionist identity shit that says it has to look this way, there's a parameter of what's good or bad or wrong or right, or how much time it's gonna take, blah, blah, blah. All that shit that doesn't serve you. So my point being, even in this retreat experience, there's been sugar and bread and shit everywhere. I actually got to bring my own chicken and bring some certain things. We hit the grocery store. Garrett Gunderson, my good friend that's here with his oldest, and I, and make sure that we're supported with clean eating and stuff also available. And when we pick and choose things, and it's sitting there in front of me, and people just like, how can you not try these things? It's like, I have no desire. I have no desire to reach out for the shit and put it in my body, because I've cleared all that stuff. And this is coming from someone who, I was anorexic, bulimic, started from 4 years old struggling and fighting my body, because the body was the association to being validated and good enough, and hence I constantly sabotaged it, because I was operating out of old stored memory patterns instead of moving forward in inspiration. And so my point being to all of this, you guys, is that look at your outer world. Everything you're experiencing, every result that you have is based on your inner world. And that's why I say, if even you're seeing problems existing around you. And this is why it's interesting for me to be in environments where you know, with people that operate differently, in the fact that have cleared and cleaned my environment, that all the people that are around me, my team, etc., are all operating in this kind of consciousness. So I forget that the world actually operates this way. And so even if you find yourself in an environment where a problem is there, interesting, if you see yourself where there's problems, that's because of your inner shit, that there's problems even in your space. Okay, so it's taking full responsibility for everything. But the thing that I really want you to hear is, until you're willing to clean and clear the memories and shift and align yourself to the new identity, you keep creating the same shit. And so just take that in and look at what have I just kind of pushed back, and what do I want to be operating out of. So quick little thoughts for you as far as overcoming sabotage or anything else. It's because you're still operating out of old memory patterns. I love you guys. I'm going to rock it out and grab my little boy so we can head off for our last day of our fun connection time retreat. Power choice is yours. Choose your best life. Lock it down.